Jin In is the founder of the social change movement 4Girls GLocal leadership, and she joins me now live from Washington, D.C. Good to have you with us. The figures of violence against women are so utterly horrific, and I know that you and your organization say that this is a result of a toxic mindset that devalues and dehumanizes girls. What do you mean by that?
Well, so thank you so much. It's delightful to be with you on this very solemn day. Obviously, for all of us who champion and defend women and girls around the world, we actually wish this day didn't have to exist. So let me begin, given that I am an adolescent girls and young women's champion, and really empowerment for them to be the change makers and leaders, rightly so, around the world. This problem begins with the three deadliest words around the world is, "It's a girl." Now, for many of us, that may sound shocking, because that should be that phrase should be delighted by family members and parents. But really, it is the deadliest three words around the world. And that is what today is really about, that this is not a problem about women or, at the core, it's really a problem about power.
And that mindset presumably is worse, the situation is worse in some parts of the world than others. For example, African countries have some of the highest rates of violence against women. Is it a culture thing?
It is absolutely a culture thing. We today live in a world where human beings are, the way that our habits and our attitude is in the Stone Ages, and institutions are medieval at best, and technology is godlike. So although we hope that there's more progress and changes quickly, there are still parts of the world where this problem, it is not changing, and in fact it's going backwards. So just briefly, for girls and young women around the world, every 3 seconds, a girl is forced to be married. And 1 out of every 10 girls around the world is raped or sexually violated. And every 10 minutes, a girl dies from a violent act. So this is a serious problem.
Right. And we've seen countries around the world committing to gender equality, to ending violence against women. We've seen France, for example, engaging in a huge consultation exercise to try and introduce measures to reduce femicide. Do you think that we're moving in the right direction? Do you think that it's happening, obviously not fast enough, but it is happening?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. There are days where it feels like 1 step forward and 10 steps back. But I know, just even in my lifetime, I was born in one of the poorest countries on the planet when I was born. And today it's the 11th largest economy, and that's South Korea. We also have an amazing example of what happens when you do invest in human capital, and that's South Korea. But simultaneously, we have a direct example of what happens when you invest in war and violent act, and that's North Korea. So absolutely, I'm part of the world where I have seen progress, and I do believe progress is possible. But I do believe that this is a problem where, I always say this is not a problem about women. This is actually how we treat our women is a direct, it's a direct outcome of how we treat people in society. So it's, if you want to decrease violence around the world, we have to decrease the violence against women and girls first.
Great to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here on TRT World. Jin In there in Washington, D.C.